Shalom, shalom, Kaloyam Layahawa, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders that great millstone. Salutations to you, Akim, pushing the work in truth and in sincerity. All right. So the name of this one, let me see. Shift is coming, the haves and the have-nots. All right. And as we see society break down, basically what's about to happen is, you know, the Lord is about to, do a readjustment. All right, because you got people who are well off, and I'm speaking more towards the middle class, Edomites who have been, you know, pretty much set up for generations, and not that it's, any envy. It's just, how the Lord perfectly balances, his judgment. And basically, what we're about to see is, with this shutdown, this looming shutdown coming, is, sort of, a shift. Okay, so those that were well off, all right, they're gonna be, pretty much suffering. All right. And the scripture said what? Um, I want to get it in Baruch. All right, where it says, let me see if I can look it up right here. My bad. Baruch, where it says, miserable are the cities. Miserable are the cities. All right. And rightfully so. All right. But here I want to get this in Job 30 and 15 because this place, man, deserves what's coming. This place deserves what's coming. Job 30 and 15, terrors are turned upon me. They pursue my soul as the wind, and my welfare passeth away as a cloud. And it's going to remain true for these individuals who have pretty much, been, been well off, ain't having to worry about anything, ain't endured suffering. Well, suffering is coming for these Edomites. And like I said, not because we envy them, all right? We do want the world to be judged. We do want righteous judgment, right? But all in all, it is the Lord's perfect balance and his perfect judgment that these things are taking place. So let me get that Job, same precept, that Job 30:15. All right, in the GNT. And what does it says? I am overcome with terror. My dignity is gone like a puff of wind, and my prosperity like a cloud. And that's what's about to happen to these Edomites. All right. And they're going to finally see what it means to be a nigga. All right. They're about to finally see what it means to be a so-called Negro. And I said this to a lady, because I make deliveries. I used to make deliveries for a certain company. I'm not gonna say who, don't matter. But as it's one cold winter, and as I get to this place, there's these Edomite women in there, and they all, oh, it's a, and they all just talking shit. Because I was late for the stop and had good reason why I'm late. Snow on the ground. You got to take your time because you can prevent you got to prevent yourself from making any mistakes or errors. You know, and as I arrived, they talking mad stuff, and these Edomites in the Hick town, nice town. Everybody got a nice house, nice cars. It don't matter. That don't matter. It's their arrogance that matters. It's their sheer, um, you know, inability to uh, to um, to understand and have empathy. Um, you know, and I was just going through it that day, man. and these women they was just talking shit, and I heard them, and as I pull up and I'm about to unload this truck, I hear him say, "Oh, it's a black guy. No wonder," you know, and so that hurt me, pricked me to my soul because I'm like, well, damn, you don't understand it, you don't care for the conditions, and I mustered, I was pretty pissed, so I said something to one of them as I was unpacking. I said, y'all, you really don't know what it feels like to struggle. You don't know what it feels like. And as I'm saying it to her, I'm kind of, I'm feeling good about what I'm saying, but I'm saying it very, forward, I guess you could say, and she had no clue what I'm talking about. Imagine that. I said, what you're going to feel it very soon. I said, you're going to feel what it feels like to be, to be me, to be a so-called Negro. And that I know it puzzled the hell out of her. And basically that's what's about to come, man. I said it, I meant it. But what's more profound is that the Lord said it, all right, and He meant it. Okay, why? Our enemies is going to inherit these curses. This is the GNT, by the way, Deuteronomy 30:7. Let me see how it puts it down. It says, He will turn all these curses against your enemies who hated you and oppressed you. You know, you might say, "Oh, white, them regular white people ain't do nothing to you." Hey, it's all in the Lord's plan. Okay. And just like we were judged as a nation. Scriptures say our kings, our priests all went into captivity. Okay. Our kings and our priests all went into captivity. Okay. Here, I'm gonna get this one. Miserable are the cities that, because that's what's about to transpire, man. All right. That's what's about to transpire. Let's see. Let me go ahead and get that first, because I forgot the precept I just wanted to get. All right. So this is Baruch 4. I want to start up a few verses. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. I can start at 4 and 14. Baruch 4 and 14. Let them that dwell about Zion come and remember ye the captivity of my sons and daughters, which the everlasting hath brought upon them. And we will remember it every day. It's with us every day. All right. It's an ongoing reality. All right. It's a very agonizing reality every day. While our enemies fare sumptuously and they look at our situation with absolutely no empathy, no sympathy. So we're not going to have any for them. All right. It's the way the Lord wrote it. Okay. They didn't have slaves, and you hear it all the time. But the Lord judged us as a whole nation. Okay. I wanted to get that. I just remembered it now because our kings and priests, they all went into captivity. All of them. Every last one of them. All right. Let's see. Let's see what it says. Let's see. Great trespass unto this day, and for our iniquities we have our kings and our priests. It might be Ezra. Uh, oh man. Well, I'm gonna keep this up. All right, I'm gonna finish this off. Okay, so from the greatest to us, from the smallest to the greatest to the nation of Israel, went into captivity as a whole. The Lord judges the whole nation, and that's what He's going to do with Esau, Edom. All right, because He said he said with this whole family He has a controversy with. Baruch 4:15. For He hath brought a nation upon them from far, a shameless nation, and that of course the base men, those the lowliest men, He's given power to reign over us, and of a strange language, who neither reverence old man nor pity child. All right, we've had this consistently happen throughout the ages, throughout the millennia. All right, okay, but it was more heinously done under the auspices of the so-called white man Esau, Edom, during the Greek Empire, during the Roman Empire, during this Western civilization that ruled over us and still rule over us till this day. These have carried away the dear beloved children of the widow, and left her that was alone, desolate, without daughters. But what can I help you? For he that brought these plagues upon you will deliver you from the hands of your enemies. And that's what we're waiting on, the patience and the faith of the saints. All right. Go your way, O my children, go your way, for I am left desolate. I have put off the clothing of peace, all right, and put upon me the sackcloth of my prayer. And this is the spirit we're in now. I will cry unto the everlasting in my days, and that's what we do. Be of good cheer, O my children, cry unto the Lord, and he will deliver you from the power and hand of the enemies. All right. And we need to pray, all right, and cry out more. Because essentially that's what praying is, crying out, crying unto the Lord. Because our enemies have absolutely nothing good for us. And they have all decided to eliminate us from this earth and eliminate our thought, eliminate our remembrance from this earth. But the Lord remembers us, O Sion, okay? His monument, his children, his people, his chosen. For my hope is in the everlasting, that he will save you, and joy is come unto me from the Holy One, because of the mercy which shall soon come unto you from the everlasting, our Savior. And it's closer. All right, as the scriptures say, it's closer. What it says, the salvation is nearer than when we believed. It's very close. It says, for I sent you out with mourning and weeping, but the Most High will give you to me again with joy and gladness forever. Like as now the neighbors of Sion have seen your captivity, so shall they see shortly your salvation from our God. So they're going to see it. This is going to be a public view globally. All right. And then they will know when we're saved. All right. The Lord is going to save us right in front of their eyes. Okay. And it says that on many occasions. Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, goes into that as well. It says, your salvation from from our God, which shall come upon you with great glory. All right. And brightness of the everlasting. My children, suffer patiently the wrath that has come upon you from God. For thine enemy hath persecuted thee, but shortly thou shalt see his destruction, and shalt tread upon his neck. You see, the reaper, or the plowman, excuse me, I don't got that much time. The plowman shall overtake the reaper. You see, and that is the shift, that the Lord is about to bring. Okay. And it's going to happen in small spurts. It's happening now as we speak. All right. Because of the justice, or the injustice that was done, the Lord is about to bring the right judgment. All right, to turn things right side up. That was the things that would turn, upside down. Okay, but shortly thou shalt see his destruction, and shalt tread upon his neck. My delicate ones have gone rough ways, and were taken away as a flock caught of the enemies. You see, even the delicate ones. Imagine that. All right, taken away. You know, Imagine your daughters and your sons, babies, children being taken away and carted into slavery and put into hardcore bondage and where they're serving their enemies and their enemies have absolutely no remorse, absolutely none, no empathy, no sympathy. And they built the whole philosophy around justifying how they treat you. All right. They call it Darwinism. All right. Survival of the fittest or natural selection. They even have ideologies for this, the heinous crimes that they committed. Eugenics. All right. Look it up. It's all heinous. It's all hurtful. It's all terrible. You see? And scriptures talk about the Lord, the apple of the Lord's eye, man. And what he's gonna do to those. We're waiting, we're seeing. You better believe we're watching. For as it was your mind to go astray from the Most High, so being returned, seek him 10 times more. And that's what we do. We have to. For he that hath brought these plagues upon you shall bring you everlasting joy with your salvation. See? So that sorrow is going to be gone in no time. Absolutely no time. All right. But here's the point, and I know I drew it out, but I kind of wanted to. Verse 31, miserable are they that afflicted thee, and rejoiced at thy fall. Miserable are the cities which thy children served. Miserable is she that received thy sons, and that's America. That is the whore that received the sons. They're going to be miserable. There's a shift coming. All right. For as she rejoiced in thy ruin and was glad at of thy fall, so shall she be grieved for her own desolation. We didn't brought any of this. You wrought it upon yourself. Esau wrought it upon himself. All right. For I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude, and her pride shall be turned into mourning. And her pride is nasty. It's the most detestable thing I've ever seen in my life. The pride of the Western world, the Western civilization, the hateful things that they do on a regular basis, and how they have a whole justice system who doesn't adequately spread uh, the balance of the right way. You got to go above and beyond to get justice, get what's rightfully yours, rightfully due to you, and they take it away on a daily basis, all in the name of exploitation, while they can live out their lives. And these individuals, these regular, these nations, and as soon the top, the upper echelon of these Edomites, they will be touched. You know, they will be touched, even though they're generating crises, hoarding all the resources to themselves, hoarding all the riches to themselves, so they can protect themselves from that hour. You're not going to protect yourself. Salaki, I've done enough talking. It says, for fire shall come upon her, all right, from the everlasting, long to endure, and she shall be inhabited of devils for a great time. That's Isaiah 34. They'd say that many of times. Here, the brute was ascribed for Jeremiah. His things written aforetime. O Jerusalem, look about thee toward the east, and behold the joy that cometh unto thee from the Most High. Lo, thy sons come, whom thou sentest away. What joy, man, that's a joy, man. That's a joy, man. We never even got the chance to be a nation in unison. Only 4 generations, maybe less than, where we're in complete peace. Never had a inheritance on this earth, and we're about to have complete, utter, everlasting peace. You can't even imagine it. Finally. But it came with a price. It all comes with a price, and that's our lives. That's our lives. You know? Lo, thy sons, whom thou sinnest, lo, thy sons come, whom thou sendest away, They come gathered together from the east to the west by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the glory of God. All right. So let me see, because I made a point earlier. The kings and the priests. Yeah. Hosea 3:1, it says, Then said the Lord Yahweh unto me, go yet, love a woman beloved of her friend, yet an adulteress, according to the love of the Lord toward the children of Israel, who look to other gods and love flagons of wine. So I brought her to me for 15 pieces of silver, and for an omer of barley, and half omer of barley. And I said unto her, Thou shalt abide for me many days, thou shalt play the harlot, and thou shalt not be for another man. So will I also be for thee. For the children of Israel shall abide many days without a king, and without a prince, and without a sacrifice, and without an image, and without an ephod, and without a teraphim. All right. Jeremiah 17:9 goes into that, or 17:4, how we lost our heritage. All right. And we know that all too well, being that we're being put in remembrance. It's very daunting, this reality, all right, of our history. Afterward shall the children of Israel return and seek the Lord their God, and David their king, and shall fear the Lord, and shall fear the Lord. Emphasis on fear, fearing the Lord and his goodness in the latter days. In the latter days, we are in those times. All right. Okay. So Job, this is for the Edomites. All right. These are for the upper echelon. Okay. Which again, not only for them, but you're gonna see a shift among even these regular peon people. Okay. And even these regular Edomites, they're gonna turn against their own. All right, because even their own has discarded their pretty much everything. Nationhood, the fear of God, they've discarded all of that. Scriptures, what it said, he cast away his bowels. All right. That means his innermost thoughts and feelings, okay, toward the Lord and everything that the Lord has given him. That's why the scriptures call him estranged from the womb. So it's like in Job 20:22, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Who? The Illuminati, the elite, all right, the ruling class, every hand of the wicked. All right, the wicked, and it's not talking about an evil person, but it's talking about a person that's enduring evil. The Hebrew word for wicked is aimal, which means the oppressed, essentially the slave. Every hand of the slave or the wicked or the oppressed, all right, shall come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, God shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. All right. So there's a shift right there. Okay. And there's going to be a change. Let me see. Slovakia. Let's see. Thinking James. James chapter 5. James chapter 5. Right? James chapter 5, verse 1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth eaten. All right. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you. All right. And shall eat your flesh as it were fire. So you have heaped treasures together for the last days. All right. So Esau has gotten everything through corruption. All right. And basically that's a witness against him. Okay. All the corrupt things that he's done. All right. And he's only heaped these things unto, you know, only to give them away. All right. In these last times. All right. The behold, the hire of the laborers, here's the point, who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth, the Lord of armies. All right. And we were the ones that reaped down these fields. Okay. And who else? I mean, and everybody else benefited from us reaping. And so what's going to happen is simply the Lord is about to make a shift. Okay. And then from the smallest to the greatest. And all we have to do is endure it. Endure what's about to come. Endure this fire. Okay. Because we're going to have glory in the end. All right. You have lived in pleasure on the earth and been wanton, meaning undisciplined. You have nourished your hearts as in the day of slaughter. You have condemned and killed the just, and he doth not resist you. Right? Be patient, therefore, brethren, unto the coming of the Lord. Behold, the husbandman waited for the precious food of the earth, and hath long patience for it, until he receive the early and the latter rain. All right? The early and the latter rain is dealing with the harvests. Okay? Be also patient. Establish your hearts, for the coming of the Lord draweth nigh. Grudge not one against another, brethren, lest ye be condemned. Behold, the judge standeth before the door, and that's before your minds. All right. Take my brethren, the prophets who have spoken in the name of the Lord, for an example of suffering, affliction, and of patience. All right. As the scriptures say, the things that are written aforetime and for our learning. All right. Behold, we count them happy which endure. Ye have heard of the patience of Job, and have seen the end of the Lord, that the Lord is very pitiful and tender, and of tender mercy. But above all things, my brethren, swear not, neither by heaven, neither by the earth, neither by any other oath, but let your yea be yea and your nay nay, lest ye fall into condemnation. All right, you can't be double-hearted, can't be double-minded. Is any among you afflicted? Let him pray. Is any merry? Let him sing psalms. Global in this lesson has been edifying, kind of just wanted to touch on that. Just something I was thinking about, from the least to the greatest. All right. They're going to inherit, what they have sown, you know, and we're going to inherit glory, as the scriptures say in Second Ezra, the 7th chapter. The righteous have to suffer the narrow things, and they hope for the wide. The wide represents the kingdom, and the narrow is the straights, the things that we have to go through in this world. So with that, I'm gonna say shalom.